Hey, what's going on? My name is Jerome. This is my beautiful wife, Jessica. Most of y'all already know us. For the ones that don't, I hope y'all take the time to get to know us. So we've been trying to do this for a little over 5 years. Um, we finally sat down and talked about it for a while, and we just felt like the timing was right. With the kids being older and stuff like that. Life isn't that rough. It's still rough, but it's not that rough like it was in prior years. So now we're able to sit down, figure out what we want to do, put the time in, to make these videos. So we decided to just open our life up a little bit and just talk about relationships and dealing with everyday life, being parents, especially with of mixed children, being parents of
Mm-hmm.
mixed children, and we also have a daughter with a disability. Um, Pretty much our story. A lot of our friends always said if we had a show, they would tune in. We had people reach out, when they was going through similar things or just things, period, with their children, just asking us questions about how we got over certain things and stuff like that. So we felt like if we put together a platform and just put our story out there, maybe, it could help people get by or get through or whatever they got going on. And a lot of people think that our story is amazing. I mean, I sure think it's amazing. If y'all take time to watch these videos, you will see why I think it's amazing because this woman here had changed my life. So as y'all follow us on this journey, um, you will see like all the different dynamics of our relationship and things of that nature. Trust me, we've been through it all. We've been together for 24 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of ups and downs, rocky roads. So where would you like to start? How we met, uh,
Mm.
parenting. I think the main thing maybe should be Aurora, and when we found out, you know, that she had albinism,
Yeah.
because I think that was like a dramatic situation for me, but it was weird at the same time because it's crazy because when you had her, like as you was pushing her out and everything, and I seen like the blonde hair and stuff like that, I never once second guessed like something was wrong or she wasn't mine. Because again, I don't have
Right.
blonde hair now like that. You don't. But I never second guessed that.
Mm-hmm.
So when she came out and they cleaned her up and all that stuff, brought her back, and I felt so connected with her, and we took pictures and stuff. It was a beautiful moment. I remember I was crying and stuff like that. But I never thought anything was wrong. Did you
Y-
at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, so, well, first of all, I think if people don't already know, albinism is a genetic condition where, you lack pigment, you lack melanin, which um, is what produces the pigment of your skin and your eyes. So there's every race can have albinism in it. It's not just like African American, which I think a lot of people think. Um, and it is both parents have to carry the recessive gene, which we neither one of us knew because why would we know that?
Right.
Um, and then it's just there are different degrees of it, and some are very severe. Some kids are completely blind. Some just wear glasses. And then there's ones that are so fair that they like their eyes are red.
Mm-hmm.
um, and then Aurora has color, so there's a lot of different levels to it, and I think it's really stigmatized and misunderstood, and it's not really understood well at all, period, because people don't even really know what it is. When I say that, a lot of people are like,
I
she
get
has
that too.
what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
albinism. Or they'll
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, she's albino. And I'm like, well, you're not really supposed to say that. It's technically like kind of like a slur
Mm-hmm.
saying that. Um,
You just told me something the
but
same.
albinism is the name of the condition. Yes, technically she is albino, I guess. Um, But yeah, like people are like, oh, I didn't think that. I just thought she had blonde hair and was light
Yeah.
because I'm light and you're light skinned.
Right. Hmm.
So, but yeah, it does affect her vision. It can affect your bleeding. If you have a certain type of albinism, you can actually bleed like to death. It's dangerous, so you have to get tested to make sure you don't have that. Um, and it's just it is considered a disability. But
When
yeah.
did you notice?
So going back to that, um, yes, I knew exactly. Like as soon as she was born, I felt like something not was wrong, but I
Hmm.
was definitely shocked. Um, and I had a really rough pregnancy to begin with. Like, I'm not going to get into everything with it, but I suffered with a lot of depression during my pregnancy. And I was not on anything
Yeah,
because
you were
I
strong for
wanted
that.
to
Yeah.
be,
Right.
I didn't, we had just had a miscarriage. I didn't want to
Hmm.
chance anything. So I completely did it cold turkey, was not on any antidepressants. And with all the hormones and, just all the other stuff happening, like it just, I had a rough pregnancy. Um, Even though I didn't like particularly show it or like feel like I did, like I had it like health wise, I was good.
You
Like,
showed me. I
but
was there with you. I had a storm, but
I mean, yeah, like I mean
but you did carry
internally,
it well. Yeah. But of
yeah.
course, I'm your life partner, so I'm gonna know everything.
So she, yeah, so like the labor was scary. I was extremely anxious about everything. I had no idea what to expect. It
First
was my
time.
first time. I was scared of the pain. I was panicking. I had a really bad migraine. Um, and I was afraid to take the medicine in the hospital because, again,
Hmm.
I kept saying, like, I don't want to do anything that could harm the baby. But eventually I did give in, and, then labor started happening, and I was in a lot of pain because my epidural did not work. It only went to my leg. So, and then they came back again to give me like a bolus, and it just completely numbed my leg again. And by that time, it was like time to just push. So I just wanted it over with, like so quickly. That's all I can remember. And I was so
Yeah,
anxious that
I
I
remember.
pushed her out in 15
I
minutes.
remember at the time you was just like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I was just looking
Yeah. So I was already anxious
yeah,
to
you
begin
frowning.
with.
It's already had.
And I totally dissociated after she was born, and I think a lot of women do that and they don't realize it, but it's just like the most traumatic near death experience you just
Mhm.
went through, and then somebody just hands you this baby and you're like, that's it. Now you're not just you anymore. Like
Yeah.
you're a mom, and that's it. Like you're responsible for this life. So I can remember just being like really surprised because for 9 months, all I pictured was a baby that looked just like me,
Yeah.
brown hair, brown eyes.
Yeah. Dark features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just pictured her looking like that. So I pictured her a certain way, and then she came out completely different. So I don't think I was not disappointed, but I was just shocked.
Hmm.
But I also had just gone through some crazy stuff. So I wasn't processing anything at that moment. I was hungry. I was exhausted. I was in like just shock of what I just did. So like a lot of that I didn't really get to process it. And then when they like gave her back to me and she was like more cleaned up and I saw she really was blonde, um, I was like, wow. And I think I said something like, do you ever see that? Like, and it's maybe the nurse was like, oh yeah, all the time. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and I just kept thinking like, okay, like whatever, babies are born. They always look different when they're newborns and they
Hmm.
have like lighter eyes and then
That's
they
probably what
change.
I was thinking of too at the time. Because
I
again, like
kept
I said,
saying she's going to change, she's going to get darker. um, and then like whatever, like later when we got in the room, I was Googling albinism. Like I
but you never
literally
brought that up to me. It's
I
the first
didn't
time I'm hearing
know.
that.
I
Yeah.
literally Googled like albino because I just was like, is
Or
it?
albinism.
I
had,
know, but when at that time
yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't know.
know.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like, is she like, and I just was curious. And then like I saw like the extreme that they show, like, because when you Google stuff, you usually see the really extreme cases or the worst
yeah.
thing. You don't see like
That's
the
what I
good
did once I found out.
and how it's like it's like a condition and it's like
Yeah,
scary, when you don't
yeah,
know what to expect. So I Googled that and then I kind of was like, nah, like, because I remember one of my girlfriends at the time was my nurse.
hmm,
She worked there. And she's like, "Oh, I see that all the time. Like I always see like, babies coming out like later or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like, like just whatever." And I'm like, "Well, I was like a redhead when I was little." So
yeah,
I didn't think anything of it really for a while. And then I think what really like it was funny because I got you posted the picture of you sitting on the chair, like holding her, looking
hmm,
down, and her hair is just bright blonde.
hmm.
And one of your cousins commented, like, "Oh, she's such a pretty albino baby." And I was like, I
I didn't
remember,
even see that neither.
yes.
See, this is
And I
good. I'm glad
remember
you
I
told me
was
about this
like
stuff.
offended. I was like, "Oh my God, she's not albino. Like,
Hmm.
don't say that." Even though I was literally Googling it, like,
Yeah,
I think she might be, but I didn't want other people to like be like, yeah, like, so I was just like, nah, like I tried to put it out of my head and focus on her and um yeah, but like we didn't even have a diagnosis until she was 6 months old.
yeah.
I think it was 6 months.
And for me,
And so we still were just raising her like normal.
yeah,
And like I remember when she started to look like me, like she started to get like her eyes got darker and I was like, "Oh, she's starting to look like my baby pictures." And I just like wanted so bad to like make her look like me that I'd be like putting our pictures side by side and I'm like, "Yeah, like but in my heart I still didn't feel like she did." And
hmm,
it's not like I knew she was mine, obviously. I
right,
grew her like
yeah,
I birthed her, but I didn't have a bond with her or a connection with her for a long time.
yeah.
And
I
part
remember
of it
you
was the
telling me that.
postpartum depression, which
Hmm.
is a whole other topic for another day. But I had that really bad. And then I think too, like feeling like she didn't look like me or like you, like I felt like I didn't know her. And
Hmm.
you already feel like you don't know this baby when they're first born in the first place because it's a stranger. Like
I never felt that, but when she
I,
came
I
out, I was
see.
just,
I've talked to other moms who said they do
yeah.
feel like
Well, I'm
that.
a man. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
like
I
you're like
can't definitely
yeah,
speak
like you
about it.
don't know the
Right.
child yet. You care for them. You're
Hmm.
gonna protect them. You love them unconditionally, but you still feel like
Yeah.
it's weird. And so it did take a while to bond. I mean, and then finally when I did, it was like, of course, in love.